Everybody, it's your boy Just Brandon here with another tabletop review. This time we are talking about Winchester White Box, more specifically the 222 round 22 long rifle hollow point version. Damn, that was a mouthful. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, let me be the first one to tell you that this is not my normal 22 ammo. I usually use Winchester Super X. I've already done a review on that. If you want to check that out, I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. So let's get into this stuff. This is 36 grain, has advertised velocity of 1280 feet per second, and it is a copper plated hollow point. Now, as I said before, this isn't my normal 22 ammo. This was given to me by a friend who mistakenly bought the wrong stuff with the pretense that I make a video for him reviewing it. So shout out to my boy Ian. This is one special request. So let's get right into it. My buddy Ian and I went to an outdoor target range yesterday, and we had a pretty good time. I had my SR22 with me. He had a Rock Island Armory, I think it was an AK-22, and we were having a few problems with it right out of the gate. In the morning, everything he shot would jam. It would double feed, stovepipe. I mean, if there was a malfunction, I mean, it did it. So it turns out that he told me that he had never cleaned the rifle before. So he poured a little bit of CLP on there. We racked the slide a few times, and off we went. And it did work temporarily. So what ended up happening was we were on, I believe, like the 50-yard target range, and everything started to jam up once again. So just out of curiosity, we happened to peek down and look at the magazine, and it said to only use high velocity ammo, which this stuff obviously is not. But with that being said, by the time we figured that out, we were already maybe a box and a half into it. So despite it not being the correct ammo for that particular rifle we were shooting, it still worked. Now, I know a lot of people hate Winchester White Box. I know a lot of people hate bulk ammo in general. But to be honest with you, man, for what you're using it for, it is not that bad. I mean, yeah, is there higher quality shit out there that you can be buying? Absolutely. But at the same time, there's also lower quality shit out there that you can be buying as well. And I would say that, you know, yes, there were some rounds that shouldn't have made it out of the QC. And yes, this shit is dirtier than normal, but 22 rounds are dirtier anyway. And for what you're doing with it, there is no good reason not to buy this stuff. Unless you're just overly anal like I am and get really, really pissed off at the smallest malfunction. So I would say we had about maybe 10 of them total. So you count 10 malfunctions out of 222 rounds. That's 90%, 95% of the rest of the rounds fired correctly. But that 10% is frustrating. 22s only shoot maybe 10 or 11 times to begin with. So, I mean, you had one malfunction out of 10, that kind of sucks. And it kind of sucks even more as you go on and on throughout your day. So, with that being said, man, I'm going to keep this pretty short and sweet and to the point. 222 rounds of ammunition. Yes, with bulk ammo there comes, you know, maybe a lower grade of quality control. Yes, there's some rounds in here that shouldn't have made it past the QC person, but you kind of have to also cut them some slack too. This isn't the worst 22 ammo I've ever shot before. This also isn't the best. It's right in the middle of the road, and that's exactly where you expect it to be based on the price point. So you're looking for something cheap, something dirty to go just plink around with at the range, shoot some steel, shoot some paper. There's nothing wrong with this stuff. I would certainly hope that you're not using this for self-defense. I would certainly hope you're not using this in a precision rifle, because it's just not going to work for you. And I would hope you're never in a situation where your life is dependent on it and you pull out the 22 with this stuff in it and it jams on you. So shooting around, target practice, range, whatever, this stuff will do you just fine if you don't get, annoyed at, minor inconveniences like I do. I was already ready to throw the stuff in the garbage and go buy some better quality ammunition. But I will say this, it did feed perfectly fine through my SR-22. I shot maybe 40 rounds out of my SR-22 with this stuff, and it cycled fine. So maybe he got all the defective ones. Maybe the malfunctions were a result of his rifle not being clean, or what have you. Or maybe we just got all the bad ones out of the box before I got my hands on it. But long story short, man, Winchester white box, 222 rounds of ammunition. If you're like me, you pass on this stuff. But if you're looking for something cheap and fairly inexpensive to go have a good day at the range with, then by all means pick up a box or two and let me know how you do. I'm just Brandon, and this is my honest opinion.